From the storeroom of WDWL TV, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station, the grumpy old man, me, and asshole is still on strike. There'll be no obligatory bow. And Linda's here, and Kathy's here. Now, before we go any farther, there is going to be an interruption because I am still waiting for my fucking medication delivery, which left at noon. Bad enough they didn't have it yesterday. And Kathy, you'll understand this. It left at noon, okay? One fucking driver. 60 deliveries. You know where they start? Mayfield, Solon, Twinsburg. I'm 15 minutes from the hospital. 15 minutes from the... You would think they would have two drivers. One east, one west. I'll tell you what. Every month it's some bullshit with this delivery service. I don't know where the hell they got them from. But me and the head pharmacist are going to have a long chat. Because this is bullshit. First of all, they talked me into this. It was January. And they were like, oh, we have a free delivery service. You won't have to go out in the cold. You won't have to drive in traffic. It'll save you time. It went perfect. 2 months. Ever since then, it's bullshit. I've wasted a whole goddamn day. And here's part of the problem. They are supposed to have a GPS tracker. They have a map. You click on it. It's supposed to start at noon when the vehicle leaves the hospital. It didn't start until 2 o'clock. Now, it's telling me they have 16 more stops before me. They should be here in an hour and 11 minutes, okay? That means like around 8 o'clock. According to their GPS tracker, the goddamn delivery vehicle's still in Garfield Heights. Now, how are they going to get to me in an hour? It's bullshit. Every month, bullshit. Not to mention, they didn't have my medication yesterday. I was supposed to put on a patch 10 o'clock last night. I am going to be so off schedule now because I shouldn't be putting one on today. Not to mention, I could chew the end off this microphone right now. yes, it's nice having a delivery service. I don't have to drive up there. And Kathy, you know where the old Kaiser used to be over in Parma? I don't know if you ever got over this way. This Metro Parma used to be Kaiser. Now fucking Prism is telling me I'm freezing up. Oh, what else can fucking go? Oh, and I get a notification when I went to log into Prism. They are expanding their pay service. So I might be shit canning them soon. Because I ain't paying for this. You know, it was a nice day today. I could have very easily driven up there. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. First of all, I hate driving up 130th. So, hey, let somebody else risk their vehicle. Hey, Wyatt, I'm on my soapbox on a rant. I'm not freezing up? Good. Because I think I'd punch my monitor right about now. So, like I say, I hate driving up 130th to get, well, until I get to Brook Park Road. Then once I cross Brook Park Road, fine. Because, you know, since they put in these fucking bike lanes, it's no longer 2 lanes on each side. It's 1. And it never fails. There's delivery trucks all over the place. So, thank you for free delivery. Here I am, 10 after 7, wasted a whole fucking day. Because, was it last month? Last month. I'm looking at their GPS and it says I was like 10 stops away. 45 minutes. So I figured I'll run up, get cigarettes, it's just up the corner, and come back. I get in the truck, I put the key in the ignition, a car pulls in my driveway. Here's my medication. Had I run to the store, I'd have missed them. Because I have to sign for it. Me, nobody else. Me. And if I would have missed them, the medication goes back to the pharmacy. If it wasn't that this delivery is interrupting, I would go berserk on this driver. Not to mention, I'd like to know who the company is. Because when I get my medication, it just says Metro Pharmacy, Parma. It don't say the delivery company. And every delivery, it's a different person and a different vehicle. They use their own cars. And it's not Uber, it's not Lyft. I think the little gizmo on the screen says P and H or PH. I'm going to find out who this delivery company is because I think it's bullshit. They should use 130th as a dividing line. One vehicle east and one vehicle west. Because after they deliver to me, and Kathy knows the area, this driver has deliveries all the way up to the county line. All the way up to North Ridgeville. So there's people that won't be getting their medication until 10, 11 o'clock. Bullshit. Oh, see, mine can't go through mail or FedEx. Not fentanyl. That's a no-no. It has to be hand-delivered, and they don't use FedEx or UPS or the mail service. I could have it. I could get it in the mail. I get every medication except my pain patches. Because when I sign, they take a picture of me holding the bag to make sure it got to the right person. Yeah, I have to hold the bag like a McDonald's bag. Click. Mainly because it's fentanyl. If it was any other medication, here you go, have a nice day. Yeah, I could get my other medications in the mail. A lot of good does, I still have one that they can't put in the mail. Yeah, with fentanyl, it's a very heavily regulated opioid. Very heavy regulated. So I wasted a day, although I really didn't feel like doing much. And then by the time this patch kicks in, it'll be time to put another one on. Me and the head of pain management are really going to go round and round. Leave well enough alone. I'll tell you, they're pushing for that electronic stim implant. I'm tired of hearing about that. You ain't running a bunch of goddamn wires through my spine and giving me a key fob. I'm not a Chrysler. Or a morphine pump. I don't think so. You ain't doing no implants on me. No. Because if they would do a morphine pump, then they have to do a Metaport in order to fill the pump every month. Well, how do you fill with a Metaport? It's a needle. Ah! Grumpy don't do needles well. Not with trypanophobia. Which I say that word and even doctors go, huh? You're a medical doctor. You don't know what trypanophobia is? Never heard of it. Gargle it. I've already had 2 doctors ask me what that is. They're doctors. They don't know what it is? You know, Linda, I had a friend at the hospital when I worked at Lakewood, and her pain management doctor talked her into that stim machine. 2 years she had him taken out. She said it don't work for shit. That's 2 surgeries. One to put him in and one to take it out. I ain't risking it. I have never heard anything good about them stim implants. Not to mention, if they were that good, the British would be using them. And I've never heard anything about electronic stim implant for pain management over in Britain. And you're not sticking a morphine pump in my stomach or under my stomach or wherever. All I know is they put them down here somewhere. They put the pump down here, and then they put the Metaport up here. I don't think so. Grumpy is not a pincushion. Which one were you offered? The stim or the pump? Because I'll tell you what, they really push for that stim machine or that stim implant. I don't know if it's a machine or what the hell it is. I have heard it more times in the last 10 years, and I keep telling them, no. I think they're trying to wear me down. Oh, yeah. See, evidently these hospitals must get a big discount from these companies so that they can charge a gazillion dollars and make money off of it. There you are out in Arizona and you're getting the same bullshit. Yeah, that's the last thing I need is something to cause me more pain. Yeah, I've never heard anything good about that. I've never heard anybody jump up and down and say, oh, it's the best thing I ever did. Because I asked my pain management doctor, how many of them that you put in do you take out? What's the ratio? 5 out of 10? 8 out of 10? I have never heard anyone say anything good about those stims. I don't even know what they call them. Stimulator, stim. I'll call it a stim. Oh, when my friend first got it, she was like, oh, look. I said, what? What's with the key fob? Well, if my pain increases, I just push this button. I said, what? And the valet comes out or what? Walk around with a goddamn key fob. And then 2 years later, they were taking it out. Thanks, Ron. I knew somebody would come up with the proper name. The spinal cord stimulator. I don't care. It's a surgery. And every surgery, no matter what, you risk infection. And after going through chemo, my resistance is low to begin with. Because I already told my pain management doctor, when we sit down with Mr. Big, I don't want to hear anything implant. Period. I said, because if he starts pushing for implants, I'll get up and fucking walk out. So I said, warn him. My pain doctor says, don't worry, I will. You speak your mind. Yeah, right. Every time I go for a doctor's appointment, yeah, every time you walk in, because you don't know what's passing you in the hallway. That was like the other day after my shrink appointment. I'm coming down to leave. I get out of the elevator, and here's a transport service waiting to use the elevator. They got this guy on a stretcher, looked like he was dead. Looked like he was like 90 years old, and he looked like he was dead. I'm like, let the guy go. I've already left all kinds of instructions. If I get to that point, strangle me, pull a plug, put a pillow over my head. Poor guy laying there on a stretcher, looked like a cadaver. That's no quality of life. And if I get to the point where I don't have a normal quality of life, pull a plug, flip the switch, do something. I'm not going to survive just to survive. Be propped up in a chair. I that is no way to live. Lay in a bed all day, can't move. I've already informed the powers to be. No way. Man, I got the window open and the ceiling fan on, and the heat radiating off my next door neighbor's concrete driveway. Because it was like 82 today. Typical Cleveland. We go from 40 to 80. Hello. All right, I'll be there. Thank you. Bye bye. 3 minutes. I will go meet her at the door. There will be a slight intermission. one person, 60 stops. I asked her, I said, don't they have an east and a west? Well, it was supposed to be that way, but we can't get drivers. Then maybe the hospital needs to look into a different delivery service. We ain't talking junk mail here. This stuff needs to be out on a timely basis. And then it wasn't even her car. It's a rental. Hers broke down. I hope she's making good money. Actually, I've had the same driver 2 months in a row now. Although you should have seen what she was driving. The SUV she had made my shitbox look like a Rolls Royce. She leapt in a cloud of smoke, and it wasn't from spinning her tires. You would think that a hospital would hire a company and have rules similar to Lyft or Uber as far as the age of the vehicle. What is it with Uber? Can't be older than 3 years old? All right, when does the prescription run out? See, like with my patches, I usually get them on the 3rd. So my prescription is always timed for the 3rd. Now, if the 3rd falls on a Sunday, I could get them on Saturday, although my pharmacy is open from 10 to 2 on Sunday. But usually doctors don't count Sunday. I can only get my patches 1 day early. See, that's like one of my constant complaints is when they write a 30-day supply and a month has 31 days. They won't write a 31 day. Everything is 30, 30, 30. I said, not every month is 30, 30, 30. in order to get a discount on my medication, I have to use the hospital pharmacy. Otherwise, I would pay like twice what I'm paying now. As a matter of fact, I looked up Walgreens. I called Walgreens and I said, I need 100 microgram per hour fentanyl patches. I need a month's supply, which is usually like 15. How much? $485. I almost fell off the chair. What do you save? You save them pills? That way you have an emergency supply. See, like right now, I have 100 microgram fentanyl patch. I didn't want to put it on for two reasons. One, these are 75s. And for two, that's my emergency in case something really would screw up. Well, the receipt's on the back. Hang on. Okay. I only paid $98. If I would go to Walgreens or Rite Aid, or the price is ridiculous. So I kind of bite the bullet with the delivery. I suppose for summer I could stop and say I'll pick it up, but then I might have a problem getting re-enrolled in the free delivery service when I want to start back up. So, like I say, it's not my vehicle, it's not my gas, not my insurance. But I think getting a delivery at 7:30 ruined the day. I needed to go grocery shopping. Now, luckily, it's not like I'm out of everything, but I don't like my supply to get down that low of anything either. But it's just sitting here waiting and waiting. Oh, the pharmacy checks them. Believe me, mine are probably dated 2026. And who invented these? You get everything in a goddamn plastic bag today. Yeah, we're not killing trees, but we're ruining the environment. Because this shit don't biodegrade. They always put 47 fucking staples in it. Oh, Christ, the crappy ones again. Expires October of 27. They're nice fresh, but they're the crappy fresh. Yeah. Oh, I was wondering what that was. What? My emergency one? That one's good till January of 2027. No, when they get these, they get them right. It's not like they're sitting around in a warehouse somewhere. Because that's part of the problem why I have problems getting them. Because they have to. And then, see, that's another thing that irritates me. I told them, you should order right now. You've given me this month's supply. You know I need the same ones next month. Order them now. But see, they don't like to have that much inventory and stock. It's all a money thing. It's all a money thing. You know, the longer they can put off placing an order, it's less money they have to pay out. Well, my prednisone, the ones that are supposed to be giving me lots of energy. I guess I'll take this prednisone and go out and run a marathon. Oh. How come I have 3 prescriptions? Oh. I was going to say, I have 3 prescriptions and 2 receipts. I file everything. Not that, you know, it's not like I can sit and deduct this stuff. But believe me, I have a file for every doctor, and I have a file for my prescription receipts. And I had to buy a new stapler because I broke the other one. Yeah. Last 2 weeks ago, I go to staple something, and the fucking stapler fell apart. I was like, "Urgh." Now who's at the door? God damn it. Jesus Christ. Oh my God! What are we dealing with? When she went to hit send to register my signature with the home office, she accidentally hit delete. She had to turn around and come back, and I had to scribble on her iPad. Again. Sorry to bother you. I made an error. I deleted your signature. We're not dealing in rocket science here. You sign with your finger. She's got an iPad. And evidently she must send it somewhere. Instead of hitting send, she hit delete. I had to scribble on the iPad again. At least they have iPads. FedEx, if you have to sign, they come up with something that looks like half of a cell phone. And the screen is about this big. So all I do is put a squiggle. The last time the girl went, "Is that the way you sign things?" I said, "Well, no. But it's tough writing in a box the size of a postage stamp." They have an iPad. My signature looks really good. No wonder she deleted it. Oh, Jesus. They must be a really inexpensive delivery service. You can tell they were the lowest bidder. I just can't understand how the hospital can deal with a delivery service like this. You would, now I don't know, but I would think if you're delivering a carload of drugs, wouldn't you be like bonded and insured in case you get like held up at the next traffic light and somebody steals all the drugs out of your car? Maybe the company is. Yeah. God, I haven't heard that commercial in years. Calgon, take me away. Calgon went out right after Geritol. Remember when Geritol would sponsor This Is Your Life? This Is Your Life, brought to you by Geritol. Feel stronger fast. I wonder if they still make it. Has anybody ever seen Geritol in the drugstore? Geritol, and I remember another commercial, Carter's Little Liver Pills. Take Carter's Little Liver Pills. But This Is Your Life was sponsored by Geritol. I remember what? Queen for a Day. Remember that one? Queen for a Day. Oh yeah, Doan's pill. Yeah, oh God, yes. All the old snake oil. Doan's pills. And what oh God, what the hell was it? Headache powder. Whose headache powders? Oh God, I can't remember. Like Smith's headache powder, but it wasn't. Yeah, if you have that nagging pain, take Smith's headache powder. Hey, it worked. No, wasn't Seratan headache powders. Goodies headache powder. I remember looking in my grandmother's medicine cabinet one day, and there was a container that was like Smith's rectal flush. It's like, whoa. Man, I wouldn't want to be around Grandma after she took that stuff. Yeah, rectal flush. And then there was another one, I remember. My aunt had it in her medicine cabinet, colon blow. I was like, whoa, don't get behind Aunt Kate. She just took a bottle of colon blow. Yeah, Goody's headache powder. Matter of fact, they sponsored Richard Petty's car. I remember Richard Petty's Goody's headache powder. But yeah, that rectal flush, boy, that scared me. Don't get near Grandma in the morning. Or Aunt Kate taking colon blow. Yo, she blows. Oh, Ice Blue Secret. I don't remember that commercial. Ice Blue Secret. I remember the Geritol and Carter's Little Liver Pills, Goody's headache powder, colon blow, and rectal flush. Yeah, good old Geritol. Makes you feel stronger fast. Matter of fact, my mother's mother used to. Every time she'd come and visit, there'd be a big bottle of Geritol in her suitcase. I never did ask her if it made her feel stronger fast. Yeah, she'd have a bottle of Geritol and a couple of mustard plasters. Haven't seen them around either. Now, I chewed tea-berry gum, but I couldn't do the shuffle. I love tea-berry gum. Matter of fact, you'll find a lot of my DNA stuck under a lot of theater movie seats. Oh, I always felt sorry for the poor guy that had to go around and scrape the gum off the bottom of the theater seats. Or the poor girls in the cafe that had to crawl under the booths and scrape the gum off the bottom of the tables. Oh, I remember you'd sit down at a booth and you could feel about 400 pieces of gum stuck to the bottom of the table. Because your parents always told you, never swallow gum. It'll clog your intestines. Gum comes in and goes back right out. It don't stick to your intestines. Medically proven fact. You know, I've got a gift card for Cracker Barrel. It's like $30. And I always forget about it because I love their chicken fried steak. And I've got enough for two. Get me the chicken fried steak dinner. Yeah, a friend of mine gave it to me for Christmas. I still haven't used it. Cracker Barrel gift card. $30. And I checked the menu. I have enough for 2 chicken fried steak dinners with all the fixings. Oh yeah, all the old wives' tales. Don't chew gum; it'll get stuck in your intestines, and then you'll need surgery. My aunt used that one. If you chew gum and you swallow it, if you fart, it'll blow you across the room. I always wanted to chew a big handful of gum, figuring if I farted, it would blow me down the street. Like Superman. Here I come to save the day. Bubble gum out my ass. Get out of my way. Oh, Grumpy, you're getting goofy. Yeah, good old Mighty Mouse. You won't believe what I was watching last night. I switched over to my other TV. I was watching Lassie, the world's smartest dog. Here's Timmy. Here's Lassie. What's wrong? Freddy? He fell down? And he broke his leg? And the bone's sticking out? Take me to him. How Timmy could always figure out what that dog was saying. Yeah, you got that shit right, Ron. I'm just glad it didn't come like at 11 o'clock. I feel sorry for the people that she's still got to deliver yet. Because she's got to go all the way out west to the county line. And this shit goes on every day. Every day. I feel sorry for the people that, like me. They're waiting. They waste the day waiting for their fucking medication. Because some people are truly housebound. Although they look at my shitbox in the driveway and they're like, oh, I know why you're getting it delivered. That thing don't look like it'd make it to the curb. That's the nice thing about having two junkers. They look at him and go, oh, yeah, that wouldn't make it there and back. You were worried. I was sweating it. Especially when I looked at their GPS and it still showed her in goddamn Garfield Heights. Because I said to her, I said, how did you get here so fast? She said, well, I just made a delivery up the street. I said, the GPS locator shows you in Garfield Heights. Oh, you can't trust that website. Well, then, why do they email it to me? The pharmacy emails me. Click here. See where your medication's at. Now, FedEx has that on their website. And when it says, you're the next stop, you're the next stop. I love watching the FedEx truck drive through the neighborhood. every stop. That's like this outfit that Timu has. GoFo Express. GOFO Express. GoFo. You get a tracking number and you go into the GoFo Express website. Here's the tracking information. Arrived at destination. Leaving destination. Arrived at destination. I emailed them. I said, it would be nice if you said, like, arrived at destination Scottsdale, Arizona. Departed Scottsdale, arriving in Indianapolis, Indiana. What good is it? Arrived, left. Arrived, departed. Arrived, departed. You never know where your package is. And I think they hired all their drivers out of Chinatown in Cleveland because none of them speak English. Because the other day I got a package. I says, oh, you GoFo? GoFo. Okay. He pulls out his cell phone. Sign. No, that's not a sign. It's a phone. Sign. Hold on. I need to take picture. Okay. Hey. Oh, yeah. See, the good thing is Kathy knows this area. So she knows what I'm talking about when I'm bitching about shit. Yes, start your deliveries out in Twinsburg and then head west. That makes a lot of sense. Have an east and a west. No, we can't afford, well, like the girl said, we can't get drivers. At least tonight, I can go. I'll ship my neighbor to over here because they speak of the two languages. That's how I know when they're talking about me. It'll go from English to Spanish. Oh, I believe that, Kathy. I believe that in a heartbeat. That was like Marianne. Her house was like 1,000 feet from the road. They drive right past the house because they couldn't see it from the road. It was just, her driveway. And she had a lot of trees. The UPS guy used to think it was, a road going into a pasture. Then one day he actually realized there was a house back there. Because she told me, don't ship anything to me UPS. They'll never find me. Kathy, did you ever watch Big Chuck and Little John? Oh yeah, don't you love that, Linda? When they pull that shit, no speaking the English. And they speak better English than a professor. Did you ever see the shit that they got away with back then? I was thinking today, I don't know why it hit me. There was a skit. Remember the big tall black cameraman that used to be in the skit sometimes? I can't remember his name. He was a big tall guy. Well, they had a skit once. Now, Chuck used to dress up looking like a Polak with the old sweater, and they had a skit. Big Chuck is eating a big piece of watermelon, and the black cameraman is eating a big kielbasa sandwich. And they turned to one another and said, I don't know how you can eat this stuff. You couldn't get away with that shit today. I remember that skit like it was yesterday. I was like, man, the stuff that they got away with, and nobody ever bitched. I still remember the skit that Big Chuck did. He was dressed like a Polak, and he's in a pickup truck. And the pickup truck is heading for a tree. And he's got a hose, and he's blowing. And just as the front of the truck touched the tree, the camera panned down, and he had a big grocery bag as an airbag. I was like, oh God, some of the crazy stuff that they did. That was like they said, Ernie Anderson rode a motorcycle, and he would drive it through the front office and park it next to his desk. He'd prop open the front door and come through the office with his motorcycle and park it next to his desk. Remember when Ghoulardi used to blow up cars? Kids would send him model cars with fireworks, and he'd blow them up. Well, one night, somebody sent him a model car, and he lit it, and it blew up, And it must have been like C4 explosive. It set the studio on fire. The curtains were burning. They said they grabbed every fire extinguisher in the building. And they were timing it because they were coming back off a commercial and they had to put the fire out. I'm like, oh man, I could see Monday morning the management come in, all the fucking curtains are burnt. After that, they told Ernie, no more fireworks. Because I got the book that Big Chuck wrote about Goulardi and all the shit that went on. They never found out what it was. But I guess it just about blew up the whole studio. Oh, the crazy shit that he used to do. Of course, like they said, for all the years that Goulardi was on Friday night, crime dropped 70% because kids weren't breaking into cars and houses. They were watching Goulardi. And then he went out west. Got himself a announcer's job. Trying to think, who did he... Carol Burnett. He was the booth announcer for Carol Burnett. He could thank Tim Conway for that. Actually, Tim Conway tried to get him an acting job. And Ernie couldn't memorize lines. He was on Gunsmoke. Nobody knows that. Ernie Anderson was on Gunsmoke. One show. They would have kept him, but he couldn't memorize lines. So for every time he made an appearance on Gunsmoke, they had a big cue card. Really? Unreal. Oh my God, that had to be cool. Unreal. Well, good for you. Did you tape it? Or was that the day before VCRs? It'd be neat to have tapes to show people and go, that was me. I take it was a local station, huh? Like here in Cleveland. But how cool. How cool. Oh, you got tapes? Neat. Now all you need is a VCR to play them. I could play them. I have two. As a matter of fact, one of them is one of the stupidest machines ever invented. It's a dual deck made by a company called Go Video. One side is VHS and the other side is DVD. Now, I bought one of these on top of it. You would think you put in a VHS and a blank DVD and record from your VHS to DVD. No. It records DVDs to VHS tapes. How worthless. How long did you do that gig, Ron? That is neat. See, once the word got out about the popularity of Ghoulardi, it went across the nation. It seemed like every TV station somewhere had a Ghoulardi or a Fright Night or because I'm trying to think, what was it, channel, was it 43? I think it was channel 43 had Superhost. Guy dressed up in a Superman costume with a red clown nose. Superhost. Was the stupidest looking guy on earth. But people tuned in to watch him. How long did you do that gig, Ron? Couple years? And did you make any money off of it? Or they paid you a couple of bucks and you got the joy of being on TV every Friday? Willie Bloodclots. Oh my God, what a name. Well, at least you got to be on TV. Well, you know what, Ron? To do something like that, I would almost pay the station. Good memories, though. How cool. Gee, after you pass the bar, I would come back with another program and come up with some lawyer name. Oh yeah, they were all live TV back then. You had to watch what you said, watch what you do. Yeah. How neat. Man, some cool memories, Ron. Going to law school and hosting Friday Night Fright Night. I'd like to see the tapes. That is neat. I didn't know I had a celebrity in our midst here. A TV star. How neat. Did everybody at law school know who you were? I bet you took a lot of ribbon, too. Everybody going, look, there's a future lawyer. Uh-oh. Barrister blood clot. Oh, this is everybody's on YouTube. I feel like I'm on TV, though. At least we don't have commercials every 15 seconds. God, that's what I hate about watching local TV. God damn. You get 5 minutes of program and 10 minutes of commercials. Ron, the ones that thought you were an ass were jealous. Just remember that. The ones that thought you were an ass wished it was them doing it. Because they couldn't be on live TV. I would have played it up and said, "Oh man, the money I'm making. I could buy my degree." Then make them all jealous. Just to piss them off, I'd have rented a Ferrari for a weekend. Here's my second car. I bought it with my income from being on live TV. Oh, we used to have some hilarious local commercials back in the day. People advertising their plumbing company standing with a big wrench. Yeah, right. The funny commercials were the used car lots. Here's a nice, good sound automobile, and the mirror would fall off and go, whoop, you didn't see that. That is cool, Ron. What memories. What a neat memory. To be on live TV in in your hometown. That is neat. And somewhere you got the tapes to prove it. I'm trying to think of the name of that plumbing company. The guy had like a 8-foot pipe wrench. Like he was going to come in and fix your kitchen sink with it, you know. Standing there with his big pipe wrench. We can handle any plumbing situation. Call us. I'm trying to think of the one used car lot that used to advertise all the time. You could always tell what were the good cars and what were the shitty cars, because the good cars would drive within the camera and then drive out, and the shitty cars, they would be just take a picture of it. Yeah, well, that's like a lot of my souvenirs and shit from back in my limo days somewhere. I have 9,000 boxes in my living room. Yeah, they're one of them. One day I'll go through them. Although, I have to go through them boxes. Because a friend of mine paid for a die-cast car, and it's identical to Cleveland Police. Got the Cleveland Police emblem on the door and everything. And when I moved, I thought I put it in a certain box. It's not in that box. And I've got probably 1,000 die-cast cars to go through. The corner of my living room looks like a warehouse. And all I did was put die-cast cars on the box. I didn't put what they were, just die-cast cars. So there's about 50 boxes in the living room that say die-cast cars. No, mine are 1/18 scale die cast. They're the big ones. And I've probably got well over 1,000. And every box in my living room says die cast cars. Oh, I got some neat shit. If I could ever find it, figure out what's in the one day. What I got to do is empty the box, and then write on the box what's inside it. 29 Model A Ford, you know. Well, mixed in with those is probably a 300 Jeff Gordon die-cast cars. Those are 1/24 scale. See, all this stuff would be in the basement. But Cleveland has shitty sewer system and the basements flood. So I don't use the living room, so it's a warehouse. Well, all my books are in rollaway suitcases. That's how I know where all the books are. I went to Goodwill and I bought a shit of carry-on suitcases. Because that way, when I moved, I could roll the books out. So anything that's in a suitcase is a book. Now, N-Gage, is that the big one, the big Lionel? Or is N-Gage the small? I can't remember. My buddy he collects all that railroad stuff. Hey, there's Mrs. M. Although my buddy has got them big monster Lionel, big honking trains. Because for his railroad set, the transformer looks like a Volkswagen. You know, see, I don't know what gauges are. All I know is his train engines are about this big. They're huge. Well, everything. Half of his basement is a train layout. Matter of fact, 3/4 of the basement. His wife can just barely get to the washer or dryer. And in order to get to the transformer, he has to crawl under it and come up in the middle. And he operates everything from the middle. Oh, he's got a neat layout. Oh, my God. The money he spent. Talk about a guy that's got patience. Building the train yard and the switching yard and the depots. And oh, okay, yeah. Because my cousin had a big layout. He had HO. And he had a big layout in his basement. I don't know what he ever did with it. But you know, all that stuff kind of went by the wayside. You very rarely hear about anybody with train layouts anymore. Back in the day, God, everybody had them. They built their own towns, you know. Matter of fact, all the hobby shops are gone now that were around here. We used to have some big hobby shops. All gone because Kids would rather play Xbox. All the stuff that we did when we were younger. Oh, the layout my buddy's got. God damn. Like I say, it takes up like 3/4 of his basement. They left just enough room for the washer and dryer. So his wife comes down the bottom of the stairs, hangs a left. The washer and dryer's right there. The rest of the basement, train layout. I think he can run like 6 trains at once. It's amazing. And when you look at it, it looks like a real town. But the sad thing is, he's got 3 boys. None of them want anything to do with that. They told him, all 3 of his sons said, we're just going to sell all that stuff off when you go. We don't want it. And I was never into trains. I never had a train set at all. I was never into it. A lot of my friends were, but not me. I just like to go over to my buddy's house every now and then and play engineer. I don't know how the hell they would get it out of the basement. The major problem is he didn't build it to take it apart. They would destroy it taking it apart because he just kept adding on and adding on and adding on. There's no I told him, I said, I can see your kids when you go coming downstairs with a sawzall. He can't take it apart. He didn't think that maybe one day you would have to disassemble it. He just kept building and building and building and building. Hey, Ron, if I could do it, you could do it. You don't have to have a law degree. You had a Captain Penny. Oh, my God. I remember watching Captain Penny every day at lunchtime. Do you remember what he would tell the kids at the end of the program? You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool Mom. She's pretty nice and she's pretty smart. That was his sign off. I still remember it. Kathy, did you know his wife committed suicide? His wife committed suicide. Ron Penpound. I think she jumped off a railroad trestle down in the flats. Yeah, it was big news. Yeah, because he wasn't on TV for a while. And they never said anything, but it was in all the papers. I'm pretty sure she went down in the flats and jumped off a railroad trestle. I would say Captain Penny had to be on when I was in grade school, because we used to be able to come we came home for lunch, and he was always on at lunchtime. So I had to be 6, 7, 8, 9. We're talking back, way back, because I'm an antique. I rode a Tyrannosaurus Rex to school. That's how old I am. It had to be 59, 60, somewhere in that range. He was always on at lunchtime. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool Mom. She's pretty nice, and she's pretty smart, too. And then they'd go to commercial. And then I'd have to go back to school. Lunch was over. Yeah, my T-Rex, I had to ride him uphill both ways. I like when the young kids, did they have electric light when you were born? No, we watched TV by candlelight. Yeah, I slept in a cave. I never heard of Svengoolie. After Gallardi, we had the Ghoul, and we had Superhost. Because the Ghoul was Ernie Anderson's like protege. He got a job like being Ernie Anderson's gopher. And then after Ernie left, Channel 8 did away with the Goulardi thing. They went to Big Chuck and Little John. And the Ghoul was on either 43 or 61. I can't remember which. And he looked similar to Goulardi. He had the fright wig. I can't remember. He wore the white lab coat. I don't know if he had the sunglasses with one lens missing or not. Because Goulardi always had the sunglasses with one lens missing. And he couldn't use Goulardi. So he was the Ghoul. I think he was on 43. Because Channel 8 said, no, we're not, no more. God, I can't remember his name. But he wrangled himself in to get a job at Channel 8 as Ernie Anderson's gopher. And then, like I say, when Ernie left town, Channel 8 didn't want to do that anymore. So 43 or 61 picked it up. And he did a run for, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 years. And then it got old, you know. The younger generation didn't. Those were the days of neat TV, though. Because it was all local, you know, live TV, local station. Ow! Oh, that hurt. I had something on my beard. Oh, man, that hurts when the comb gets stuck in a snarl. I just noticed I forgot to comb my beard before showtime. I always fluff it. I forgot to put my beard cream on today. It's not soft and fluffy. You gonna go out and get some of that pizza, Kathy? Now, here's the trick, okay? They tell you to preheat the oven to 400. Then put it on the center rack and go 24 to 26 minutes. About 15 minutes, turn it. And then when you get to the 20-minute mark, it's done. Saved again. Ron Swede. Yes, correct. You guys are good. Yep, Ron Swede. That was him. Now, I got the 3 meat, but they have, 3, 4 cheese, double pepperoni, but at the 15-minute mark, you turn it halfway. And then at 20 minutes, if your oven is dead on 400 like mine is, it's done. If you go 22 or 24, the crust is crunchy. Yeah, they used to, they would do a half an hour show on Saturday at noon, and they would play the old skits. Oh, God, Wolfman Jack, he was insane. I think he was on drugs. He was crazy. Yeah, Wolfman Jack. He was crazy. Now we're really going back in time. Yep, last of the coffee for tonight. Who is that? I didn't know that. Oh, just as I'm going to say something, I go blank. Who was the who who was the McDonald's clown? Really, Andre Bernier? I didn't know that. I met Andre when I was managing the body shop. Somebody wrecked his car. I fixed his car. Well, not me, but my shop fixed his car. I did a double take when he walked in. I was like, "Aren't you?" He said, "Yes, I am." I'm trying to think. Who was the original McDonald's? He was a, wasn't he a weatherman or something? Yeah, because Andre came in after Houlihan left. Willard Scott. Yes. I couldn't think of the name. I could picture him. A lot of people don't know Willard Scott was the original Ronald McDonald. Yes, he was. I never knew that was why Andre came back. God, you would think being, having a national gig like that, maybe it was too much pressure in the job. All I know is he left, and then he came back. Because Houlihan went to some religious channel. Trying to think what the hell Houlihan's name was. But yeah, I remember Andre. I did a double take when he came in the body shop door. I was like, "Aren't you?" And he went, "Yes, I am." Oh, okay. He didn't like somebody dictating to him. Well, at least WJW took him back. I wonder if when he left, he said, "I'm just going to try this. And if it don't work, can I come back?" Because he was a pretty good weatherman. He had a good personality. Yeah, he had a big Buick Park Avenue. Somebody ass-ended it. And I fixed it and made it all like new. Well, my body men fixed it. As a matter of fact, I was sitting with my feet up on my desk talking to my assistant. And he walked in the door and I almost fell out of the chair. I said, "Aren't you?" He didn't even let me finish. "Yes, I am." I said, "She'll take care of you." See, I never watched the Weather Channel. Well, yeah, Mrs. M, I could see that. If the women liked him, Bob Wells. All right, I knew somebody'd save me. Yeah, Bob Wells. Houlihan the weatherman. I don't know how he came up with that. That was in the old days when they had a map and they would take the magnetic things and stick it on. We have a high pressure zone here and a low pressure zone down here. Yeah, before the days of fancy TV and all that. Yeah, he had a big map. Have a high pressure zone here. And we got some tornado activity here. Because every now and then one of the magnets would fall off. Well, that's a real low pressure zone now. Before the days of green screen and AI and all the shit they have today. Yeah, remember the stupid weather map? It was about 24 inches by 36. They'd stick magnets on it. What? What? You mean to tell me the goddamn jury didn't vote for an enhancement? Shiz won't stand for that. Shiz won't stand for that. She'll be on that prosecutor to bring up Donald Cameron's indictment again. Believe me. Oh, he better not plan on sitting in mommy's craft room. No. I can't believe that. That they wouldn't vote for the fucking enhancement. He took a blind plea. He's got to get at least 5 years, at least. With the enhancement, they could have made it 20, 25 years. But he ain't getting off. No way. He took a blind plea. I can't believe that they rescinded the blind plea and offered him a plea deal. Something don't sound right there. Because the blind plea was all over and done with. All they had to do was vote whether it was going to be an enhancement or not. Well, he ain't getting off scot-free. He's got to do time. Even if it's only 3 to 5, he's got to do time. They ain't letting him walk out the door. With 5 felonies, there ain't no way he's walking free. And he's still got Donald Cameron's murder hanging over him. Oh, something sounds squirrely. Does anybody know if Shiz is going to go live and talk about this shit? Oh, she'll be all over that prosecutor now to get Cameron's case rolling. There ain't he ain't getting off. He got 5 years. Well, believe me, like they say, the opera ain't over till the fat lady sings. So he's still got that indictment hanging over him. They didn't dismiss that thing. It got dismissed with the understanding they could re-prosecute him. So we got cheated here. But like I say, the opera ain't over till the fat lady sings. She's live now. I'll catch the replay after dinner. No, he's still got Donald Cameron's indictment hanging over him. So he better not think he's going back to mommy's craft room. If anything, he's going to do 5 years, and then they'll hit him with that indictment for Donald Cameron's murder. There's a goddamn engine in the woodpile here. I don't know how they could pull that bullshit off. Because I thought once he took that blind plea, it was like carved in stone. Yeah, I'll put YouTube on my TV while I'm eating dinner, and I'll see what Shiz has to say. Well, if they said 5 years, he ain't going anywhere for 5 years. So he better not think he's, better not call home and tell mom to dust off the microphone, because it ain't going to happen. Something rotten in Denmark here. All right, Mrs. M, thanks for popping in. Good seeing you. Man, I can't believe that shit. I guess I'll have to tune into the replay of Shiz Happens. But it ain't over with yet. Not with Shiz on the case. It ain't over with yet. We got to get justice for Donald. That family has gone way too long without justice. We'll have to see what Shiz has to say. I'd say start a letter writing campaign, but we don't want to get our nose in. I guarantee she's working behind the scenes. No, this ain't over with yet. No, not by a long shot. Kaiser supporters better not start thinking he's coming back. Right, Linda? He's got a lot. You know, it's amazing how many people you see on YouTube with DAC. It's like every chat that I go into, somebody. I mean, that DAC is worldwide, man. There are a lot of supporters out there that agree that that family needs justice. And considering they only have one suspect who has already been indicted, well, like I say, I guarantee Shiz is working behind the scenes. She's probably burning the midnight oil. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And speaking of singing ladies, I think it's time for Our Lady to sing. I lost my stylus again. Damn it. Why do I keep losing that thing? Oh, there it is. Hiding under the keyboard. Right here. Well, everybody, it's been another fun night. We talked a lot of Cleveland TV trivia. I got my medication. Yahoo! And everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night.